You've done the work. You've built a reputation, a practice that people line up for. Demand for your expertise is at an all-time high. And yet, if you're like most top-tier experts, you've hit a ceiling. A ceiling you can't work harder to break through because it isn't about effort, it's about time itself.
This is the hard truth, isn't it? No matter how much you charge an hour, no matter what your retainer is, there are only 24 hours in a day. Your expertise is limitless, but your ability to share it is not. And that's not a failure. It's just the paradox of reaching the top of your game.
Think about it. Every new client, every exciting opportunity, it all puts pressure on the one resource you can't make more of, you. Your own success has made you the single biggest constraint on your growth. And I'm guessing that leads to some familiar frustrations.
Does any of this sound familiar? Your calendar is jammed, but amazing clients keep knocking. You find yourself giving the same foundational advice over and over. And you know that awful feeling when a client loses momentum between your calls? The only way to scale seems to be hiring junior people, but you can't risk diluting the quality that got you here in the first place.
Now, here's what's really important. While most of the industry is still stuck in this trap, wrestling with the same bottleneck, a new class of leaders has already found a way out. They've stopped trading their time for impact. They are pioneering a completely new way to scale their influence.
And this isn't some far-off theory. Just look at Reid Hoffman. He isn't taking more meetings. Instead, he's literally scaling himself, creating an AI version trained on his life's work so anyone can access his strategic mind on a scale his calendar could never, ever handle.
Or take Ray Dalio. He didn't just stop with a best-selling book, he made it alive. He turned his static principles into an interactive AI, a tool that leaders can use to actively solve their business problems in real time. It's knowledge transformed into a decision-making engine.
And this shift is happening at the very peak of the coaching world. Tony Robbins knows he can't be there in person for everyone. So he built a system that delivers his proven frameworks whenever and wherever his clients need that guidance the most. It's his voice, his strategy on demand.
It's not even just about scaling advice. The founder of Mind Valley, Vishen Lakhiani, is actually scaling his own way of thinking. He's using AI to replicate his creative and decision-making process, which frees him up to innovate at a higher level while his core philosophy guides his entire organization.
So, what is going on here? These pioneers aren't just using new tech for the sake of it. They are fundamentally changing the model of influence. They're moving from a one-to-one, time-based model to a one-to-many, on-demand system. Let's really break down what that looks like.
Okay, look at this. On the left, that's the world you probably know all too well. Your growth is linear, time is the enemy, and you are the bottleneck. But on the right, that's where the pioneers are playing. Growth is exponential, guidance is delivered the moment it's needed, and your expertise becomes a scalable system.
This has a name. We call it interactive expertise. And it's not about replacing you, not at all. It's about codifying your genius, your frameworks, your decision models, your unique voice into a system that can guide people with your thinking, even when you're not on the phone. And the impact of this, it's just staggering. In a typical week, you might have, say, 10 really deep, meaningful client interactions. With an interactive expertise model, your thinking could shape hundreds of decisions in that same week, all without booking a single extra minute in your calendar. But what's really powerful is what this does for your clients. You know that high they feel after a great session? Well, it fades. And for the other 167 hours in a week, they're on their own. We call that the implementation gap. It's where progress dies. This closes that gap. It puts your guidance right there in the moment they're actually trying to execute.
All right, so you're probably thinking, this sounds incredible, but how does it actually happen? It's a very deliberate process. It's about turning the wisdom that's in your head from a personal skill you perform into a structured asset that you own.
It really happens in 4 stages. First, we structure your core frameworks, the repeatable processes that get results. Second, we capture your philosophy, the unique voice and worldview that makes your advice so valuable. Third, we build all that into an interactive AI system. And finally, you deploy it, letting your expertise work for you 24/7.
This is the real shift. An asset works for you. It generates impact and value even when you're not directly involved. A service, on the other hand, stops the second you do. This makes your expertise an asset. So let's just zoom out. What really becomes possible when your time is no longer the limiting factor? When you break that old equation, everything about your career, your impact, your legacy, it changes. Just imagine it.
You're guiding thousands of people with the same care you now give to a handful. Your life's work, your core philosophy, is preserved in a dynamic system that will outlast you. You're everywhere you need to be, without hiring a single person or diluting your brand. You are finally answering your clients' most urgent questions the very moment they have them. Look, the most influential thinkers on the planet are already building this future. They're turning their expertise into assets. The question isn't if this change is happening. The only question is, will you be part of it? Or will you let your calendar define your legacy?